First, turn on your EV3 brick by holding the center button down for a couple of seconds. The light will be red at first with a starting screen on the screen. When it boots up, it will make a noise and the light should turn green. If the light turns orange, that means you need a new battery or you need to charge it up. Now, to program to make your motors go forwards or backwards, you're going to go to the third tab. We're going to go to Brick Program and select it with the center button. Now here's where you're going to do your block programming. Notice how there's a dashed line in between the two sections. The first block is a play block. The last block is a loop block, which will stay at 1. To add a block, you press up, and for our example, let's say we're just using one motor. I would select this motor block. Now, to make it go one way, you would just press up, so that would be clockwise. If you want it to go counterclockwise, you would just put it down to here. Okay, so all you got to do is click on it if you want to change it. Okay, and then click on it again. Notice how it says the letter D. That is the port that the cable goes into. So if I grab my motor, I put the cable in the back. I'm going to take the other end and put it into D. Okay. So now that your motor's hooked up, if you scoot over and go in between the two sections again, we need to add a time block. So if you hit up, you can scroll all the way up, and in the corner there is a time block. Go ahead and select that, and now you have 2 extra blocks in there. If you want to change the time, you simply select it and change the time. Okay? For this example, we'll just use 5 seconds. Now when you're ready to start, you can hit this button and it would take you back to the start, or obviously you can just scroll to the left. So when I press play, which is the center button, when I press play, my motor should start to move. Okay. Just like that. If I ever need to stop my program, I would just hit this button so that it stops. Okay. Now let's say I needed to get rid of a block, like this time block. I would click up and I would just navigate over to the left to the trash can and select it, and it will make that block disappear. Now let's say you have 2 motors. You have 2 motors. You are going to plug those into B and C. Okay? Now your motors have to be facing the same direction. Okay? They have to be facing the same direction. When we want to program 2 motors, come back to this tab, go up, you select the 2 motor block. Okay, so you select it. Notice how it says B and C. That's why we plugged it into ports B and C. Now, if you need your motors to go a different way, notice how this is going straight forward. If you needed them to go backwards, you would just click on it and then find the opposite arrow. Okay, once you're done with that, you click it just to secure it in there. And as always, we need to go and add a time block to tell the motors how long to run. So for this example, we'll put it for 10. Okay, then we'll go back to the beginning. And as soon as I press that center button, these motors should both go in the same direction. And they do. Now if I wanted to stop this, I could hit this button right here, and they will stop. That should be all you need to make your bot go forwards or backwards in a straight line. The way you turn this block off is by hitting, I'm not going to save that. You're going to hit this button under the left side of the screen a couple times, and it will bring you to this prompt. You go to the check mark and you shut it down.